Is 103.5 Beyond Radio.
It's the fastest radio show, the fastest 1 hour on local radio. It's The Resident with Greg Lambert, and it's a beautiful evening here in Lancaster and Morecambe, so please, whatever you do, don't steal my sunshine. Sampling the Andrea True Connection. And more. Steal My Sunshine from Len. Fantastic way to start the show. It really does not get much better than that, really. Actually, no, I'm lying. It does get better than that. And it will for the next hour here on The Resident. Local news, local chat, and music. And a quiz. All sorts going on. It's been a busy week. Been a busy weekend. Friday night, myself and the Lambert family went to the new Bay Steakhouse in Morecambe. Highly recommended. It's in the Old Hearts restaurant, one of Morecambe's most famous eateries, and I think it's been a Thai restaurant, Thai Rose, for a number of years now, and they've recently expanded. They've put a steakhouse in downstairs. The Thai restaurant is still upstairs. And what is unique about the Bay Steakhouse is when you get your steak, and it's a fantastic, juicy piece of meat, I have to say, it's on like one of these lava stones, and it cooks in front of you. Tremendous. Highly recommended, particularly on a lovely night like Friday night was, staring across the bay. Beautiful. Cannot fault it. Dave Chizzy Chisnell actually was there, the famous darts player from the local area. Speaking of darts, actually I should mention this. Phil Hayward has asked me to give this event a plug. This Saturday, at the Trimple Club in Morecambe, the Benchmarks Open Darts Tournament. The second one they've ever done. And it's your opportunity to win some big money and help raise some money for Macmillan Cancer as well, because it's £1,000 cash prize for the winner for throwing a few pointy sticks at a board. Goodness gracious me, lucrative. Entry fee is £10, and £2 of that goes to Macmillan. If you want to enter, call in at the Trimple Club on Out Moss Lane in Morecambe, or go to the Benchmarks Open Darts Tournament Facebook page. What else have I done this weekend? Oh yeah, we had the wrestling on Saturday night at the Winter Gardens. That was really good. The result of my match notwithstanding. Not my match, I don't actually get in there and fight. Goodness gracious me, have you seen me? I'm a writer, not a fighter, folks. No, I basically prance around at ringside with a tough guy. I'm in the corner of the tough guy, and I rile up the fans. I'm a bit of a villain, actually. I'm not in real life, but, you know, it's just those wrestling fans of Morecambe. They bring out the worst in me. But anyway, it was a good night. Great show. Highly recommended. If you've not been to see the wrestling, take the family down to the next one. It's on November the 12th at the Winter Gardens, and they have a Scar night on afterwards as well. So, you know, professional wrestling, people in spandex beating each other up, followed by the specials. It's great. You can't get any better than that in Morecambe, really. And then on Sunday, I took my eldest to university. That's right, it was a sad and emotional day in the Lambert household. He went off to university. And I tell you, it's nothing like when I was at university. It was amazing. They were so nice and welcoming. There was people everywhere to tell you where to go if you got lost. Like hundreds of people who were all really nice and knew what they were doing. And then you went into this big sort of meeting room, and they gave you free pizza and free ice cream. It was and free apple turnovers. My dad liked the apple turnovers, I have to say. That was a nice touch. But never had that when I was at university 25 years ago. The only thing you got for free at Keele University back in 1990 was an infectious disease. It's just unreal, really. How things have changed. I'm sure Keele's very nice now, by the way. Speaking of Keele, actually, Toby Jones was in the Winter Gardens in Morecambe filming this week. The very famous actor Toby Jones, who played one of Keele University's great characters, Neil Baldwin, on a BAFTA award-winning drama series. I think it was a couple of years ago. It was shown on the BBC. Marvellous. Neil Baldwin's an amazing character. When I was at uni, he used to hang around the Students' Union in his Stoke City top. And we all thought he was just a mature student. Everybody used to say, what does he do here? What does he do here? He actually didn't do anything. He just sort of hung around the union because he liked being there. And he also did the same at Stoke City Football Club, and he became their kit man. Lou Macari hired him as their kit man just because he just hung around. And he met some really famous people just by doing this. Toby Jones played him, and he was in the Winter Gardens this week, filming a new television show that's going to be on at Christmas, we believe. Witness for the Prosecution. It's showing off the Winter Gardens in all its glory. And, you know, it's been really, the Winter Gardens has been very much, but I think pulling the stars in. Not just me, like I said, people like Toby Jones as well. So it's it's doing really, really well, the Winter Gardens. If you've not been, it's open quite a few Sundays. Go in there and check it out. Magnificent building. When the Parisian bar's open as well, which it is quite a few times at the weekend, you need to go in and check that out too. Anyway, going to play a song. We were talking about being at Keele University in the early 90s. We used to play a lot of indie music. A bit like this one. We used to stare at our shoes a lot and drink Snakebite and Black. What a foul concoction. It's the Mock Turtles and Can You Dig It? I've been off work this week and I played that album right the way from beginning to end yesterday. Be Here Now, Oasis from 1997. That was I Hope, I Think, I Know. And I decided that despite the fact that all the music critics have criticised this album over the years, saying it was overproduced and there was too many Beatles references and wasn't as good as Definitely Maybe and What's the Story, Morning Glory, I've actually decided it's really good. And that's just it, really. It just is. It's just a great rock and roll record, and Liam sounds fantastic on it. That was I Hope, I Think, I Know, as I said before. Great track on Be Here Now from 1997. Here are the news headlines before I introduce my guest. We have a date, finally, for the opening of the Heysham to M6 Link Road. The Bay Gateway is going to be opening on October the 31st. That's in the Visitor this week. The Visitor's out, by the way, the Morecambe Visitor newspaper. You can buy it, and you can read all about that and other stories too. As mentioned earlier, TV actor Toby Jones was treading the boards at the Winter Gardens filming for a BBC One adaptation of an Agatha Christie classic, The Witness of the Prosecution. We also have the story about the Morecambe dad who lost 22 stone in weight and is now campaigning for surgical treatment to remove the excess skin after the NHS refused to carry out the operation. And in sport, if you're a big boxing fan, the Westgate Warrior, Isaac Lowe, Commonwealth featherweight champion, will be defending his championship on television this Saturday. He's on the undercard of the big unification fight for the World Lightweight Championship between Manchester's Anthony Crolla and Jorge Linares. And Isaac's got a big Commonwealth title defence. It's a tough opponent, but, you know, Isaac's undefeated and we're all behind him. Hopefully he will get the job done. Anyway, it's now time for my guest of the week. And he is a man who I used to have on my radio show on Diversity FM regularly when I couldn't find anybody else. And no, that's not true. That's not true. He is a champion of Bear Village. He lives in Bear Village. He's the former mayor of Bear. And he's a local musician who's been in so many great bands like Stereo Vaccine, Matt and Cam, Clever Trevor, War of the Roses, you name it, he's been in it. He's been a stalwart of the Lancaster Music Festival. We'll talk about that. And of course, because he deserves such a big build-up, we don't bring a guest on the show without giving him a bit of the Toy Dolls treatment.
Well edited, mate.
Indeed.
I'll say that in the loosest sense of the word.
Yes. Ian Jury and Only Fools and Horses combined, because those two things are very close to your heart. Mr. Cameron Seddon.
Good evening.
Is live on The Resident.
Good evening. Good evening, listeners.
Good evening. How are you? How are you?
Very fine, thank you. I had a nice little drive through Lancaster. It only took half an hour. It's very nice to get here. And a very nice studio it is too.
That's not bad, actually, half an hour. You'll be looking forward to the road. A lot of people are looking forward to this road. October the 31st is going to open.
I was thinking on the way up here, probably about 5 years ago, I thought, it will never happen. So, and it's there ready to go now.
It absolutely is. There's a welly walk as well happening 2 days before for St John's Hospice and other local charities too.
You going on it?
I'm actually at Tyson Fury's fight that day. Otherwise, I would. Yes, right. But I am at Tyson Fury's fight, so I won't be able to do it. But you know, I'd highly recommend it because it's an opportunity to walk all the way down the road before it actually opens to traffic.
Yeah, I might take my car.
So what? You're not allowed to take your car.
Oh right. Okay.
You can take your car and park up and then walk.
Oh,
but you don't need wellies. That's the great thing. Although it's called a welly walk, you don't need wellies now because the road is finished.
Right. Okay. Yeah, they finished painting it as well. Everything's sorted. All the stop signs, etc.
Bridges.
Fantastic.
It's going to be great.
You've done well.
So what have you been up to? What are you doing? What are you doing at the moment? What's happening?
I've just finished building a road.
Well done. I thought that was David Morris who brought us that road. According to the sign outside he delivered the road. I thought, so it was you. It was you who delivered the road.
It was hard work, but I think it's gone well.
You need a sign outside your house in Bear then, just to say, Cameron Seddon delivered the road.
Yes. And
so you don't have to sit in this traffic anymore.
Yeah, I've seen that sign. Oh my word. Anyway, no, I'm at Bear Pharmacy now. I'm a dispenser at Bear Pharmacy.
So your job is to get in your vehicle and drive and deliver prescriptions to the good people of the Bear and the surrounding area.
I was doing that for 4 years while I was at university, Greg, and I was promoted
Excellent.
Did a little bit of training, did a lot of filling in forms, etc. And sillily enough, they've given me the job. So I'm serving the public.
So you're on Prince's Crescent, which is right in the heart of Bear Village, which, you know, as anybody who knows their Morecambe history.
It's gorgeous.
It was Poulton, Bear and Torrizome that came together back in the 19th century and formed Morecambe. And you are a massive champion of Bear. You know, you're a former mayor of Bear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to talk about it, obviously, but no.
Well, you're being forced to now, to talk to the people of Lancaster and Morecambe District about it.
I think that was 2012 to 2013. That was just after John Mackenzie, my boss at Bear Pharmacy, was the mayor. And I was always the person up lamppost putting speakers up and doing stuff in the background, and I was dragged out kicking and screaming to be the mayor, so I couldn't turn it down. It's something you can tell your grandchildren one day.
What is it you like about Bear?
Well, I've lived there most of my life, between sort of 1970 till 1986 when I disappeared down to London, then came back to live. We lived on Michelson for a couple of years and then up by York Bridge, but it's always been Bear where we've always explored. Me and my brother Bob would walk round and go down to the paddling pool, reminiscing beautiful days there. Everything seemed like summer. So, yeah, I love Bear, always promote Bear. Had to be the mayor of Bear. It's got to be done. Try it. You're only down the road. You're Torrizome, really, aren't you?
Why not? I could probably look good in a robe, actually.
I think you would, yeah.
Yeah, could do that, possibly. Bearfest is great, actually. It's an annual festival, and that's where the mayor making ceremony takes place, and all the local shops come together, and, you know, it's a really good community event. The other great thing about Bear is Happy Mount Park, because we were in there today, myself and Mrs. Lambert, playing crazy golf, as you do on your week off, and she beat me.
Right.
She beat me. Would you believe it? It's just that last hole. It's that 16th hole outside Happy Mount Park Cafe. It's rock hard, Cameron, I tell you.
Is that the crazy golf?
Yeah.
What's in it? I've not tried it because of the price, but even still, what's
which I thought was very reasonable. He says, balancing it out. Oh yes. What's in it? Well, it's 16. Well, for one thing, it's 16 holes, which was a little bit confusing because normally in golf it's 18. But you know, I thought it was really good. There's one hole where you're on a big pirate ship, which was good because today apparently is World Pirate Day. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Well, you do now.
Fantastic. Why didn't you tell me before? Because I'd be speaking like a pirate all day then, if that was the case.
Well, you also told me a fascinating fact before about the Mock Turtles, which I didn't realise as well, which was that Steve Coogan's brother was the lead singer.
Martin Coogan, yeah.
We played it earlier. But yeah, Happy Mount Park is great, and it's just a really good place to be. Really nice, chilled out village.
I like screaming in the tunnel. I like screaming on the tunnel on the train as you go around. Yeah. I always get a return. I always make sure I get a return.
There's no such thing. It just goes round in a circle.
Oh, right. Okay. They never told me that.
No, I know. But it's
there's no buffet.
Maybe there should be.
I think so too.
Maybe we should start a campaign.
Right in.
Indeed. So yes, Cameron, you're known as a musician around the local area. What bands are you in at the moment?
There's really only one at the moment there, War of the Roses, which is me and Matt with Greg and Oscar. So there's the four of us. Sometimes there's the two of us. We'll go out and annoy people as a duo. There's Clever Trevor sometimes, which we haven't done anything this year, but we're doing probably a tribute to David Bowie in the new year. I think we should do a big tribute to David Bowie in the new year. We usually do Ian Dury, Madness, Pink Floyd, and David Bowie's always a favourite. The Madness one's great. I love the Madness and the Ian Dury.
Funny you should say that.
Have I just led you into?
Yes, you do. You have.
I can
indeed.
see your screen now. Yeah,
you have indeed.
Fantastic.
Yes, we'll play it. We'll play a bit of Madness as well.
Not?
This is a. I watched them on the telly actually recently on the Other Radio Stations Festival in one day at Hyde Park, and they played this song. It's one of the more recent ones, and I really like it. But they should bring back Chas. I know Chas Smash has left. It's not the same without Chas Smash. Bring back Chas Smash. That's what I say. Bit of NW5.
One of Maurice's favourites.
That's good. Hello, Marisa, if you're listening. So a bit of NW5 there by Madness. And if you've got Cameron Seddon on the show, we're having a chat with Cameron, local musician and champion of all things Bear Village. Champion, that's right. Like a wonder horse, only better.
Yeah.
If you want to email Cameron, if you want to email the studio, if you want to talk about any of the local issues that are going on in the local area, please email studio@beyondradio.co.uk. You can call us on 01524 888 450. The Facebook is facebook.com/Beyond Radio. The Twitter is @Beyond Studio. If you're watching on YouTube, hello. I've moved from beyond the pole now so you can see me. Speaking of ringing the show, I believe we may just have on line one, actually we only have one line, Mr. David Chandler. David, can you hear me? Are you there?
I can hear you loud and clear, sir, on line one, yes.
Fantastic.
Indeed. Good evening.
That's great. Thank you very much for calling into the show, David. And
my pleasure.
Congratulations on completing the Lancashire Challenge on Friday with Mike Stevens and your other friend who came all the way from London to support you out of the blue. Was that a massive surprise to you?
It was a huge surprise. I'm not an easy person to surprise or to shock, and it was like one of those. It was like a carry-on film or something. I came walking through Blackpool North Station, and there was a gentleman sat on a seat with a newspaper held up, the way that people only hold up newspapers in films, right over their faces. And then as I walked past, he lowered the paper and said, "Good morning, David," and it was my dear friend Jack. I was absolutely gobsmacked. He'd left Cricklewood at 4:40, which was, ironically, the time that I was up as well, in Colne. So, he joined us right through till we got to Wigan. And then he went back to work in London on the tube in the evening. So, I don't know who had the most exhausting day, me or him.
That is friendship for you. That is dedication. Absolutely.
He's a good lad, yeah.
So we had you on the show last week, David, and obviously we set the scene. But just to explain again for people who didn't know, you were trying to travel to all 62 railway stations in Lancashire in one day to raise money for St John's Hospice. You had a bit of a hitch at the start. We were talking about what possible pitfalls when you were on the show last week, but you did have a bit of a hitch very early on at Colne, didn't you?
Well, there'd been signal problems at Blackpool North the night before, and I had a hunch that it might affect us. Now, fortunately, on the way down to Colne, when I was passing through Lancaster, one of the staff handed me a copy of the working timetable, which basically just gives you every time of every train for that station and where it comes from and when it leaves, its point of origin, etc. So I knew that the train that we were going to get out at 6:20 was leaving Blackpool at 4:40. So I thought, as you do, I'll set my alarm for 4:40 and just check that it's left Blackpool. And I went on my phone, bleary-eyed, and there were the dreaded word, cancelled. But we had a contingency, which was to get the earlier train at 5:29. Now, you might be thinking, well, why didn't you just get the earlier one anyway? The reason we didn't have that earlier one as our original first choice was because that took us over the 24-hour limit. We were starting an hour earlier.
Right.
So we would have gone into about 24 and a half hours. So we set off on the early one, and then another friend who's a signalman, somewhere completely different, not in that area, but he was following our progress, and he messaged me to say, the 6:20 is being run from Blackburn, so you can get it from Preston. So we got off at Preston, and then we changed back onto this train that we would originally have been on. So we were back onto our original plan, and we carried on through the day, sort of working through our original plan, but knowing that we'd started an hour earlier. So to cut a long story short, we realised, it suddenly dawned on us during the day, that the following morning, as well as having time to catch the final 60-second station that we needed within the 24 hours, we could actually go back and do all the ones we'd done the previous morning and be within 24 hours. So we did some of them twice. We went back to Colne basically on Saturday morning on the 4:40 train and then did all those ones again. So our starting time became the time we started from Preston, 7:39, and then we worked around from there. And we were able to do it in 23 hours and 28 minutes.
Wow. So with 32 minutes to spare. Brilliant.
32 minutes to spare, yeah.
What's all this about a suspicious bra?
Well, we were passing through Bolton on our way back from Southport at it was about 11:30 on Friday night. and there on the stairs was a discarded black bra of quite ample proportions, I have to say. I didn't examine it closely, but from what I could see, so we obviously drew it to the attention of the member of staff on duty, and he used those, those little pincer things that you pick up litter with. He used those to remove it. And someone, I presume, had some explaining to do when they got home, maybe to their husband or boyfriend or whatever. But yeah, that was discarded. There was an alert at Blackburn station when we were waiting to go to Clitheroe. The British Transport Police were called because of a passenger who was refusing to leave a train, and the train couldn't be moved. And the BTP went onto the train and came off with a dog. It was a dog that was refusing to leave, who had been presumably abandoned on the train. And they one of the police took his belt off, put it around the dog's neck, and then led him off and was patting him on the head as he went. It was quite a charming little scene, really, on Blackburn Station on a Saturday night. And
things that happen when you're on the journey of a lifetime. How much did you raise in the end, David?
We're about the £1,000 mark now. So
brilliant.
Yeah, that's great. I'm really chuffed with that. I put my target as 500 online, but secretly I wanted to get to 1,000, and we've got that. So that's terrific. So I'm really delighted with that. And the response we've had from people has been fantastic. And we're front page on the Visitor.
You are, and I'm not even at work, so I can't claim credit for it. So
yeah, which is an honour which I never thought I would get. I was just a bit disappointed when I bought my copy this evening, and I asked my newsagent if you get those billboard posters, and he said that he didn't think that they did them anymore. I've always wanted to make a billboard poster, to get onto one of them, but I believe they don't make them anymore. So. Bit disappointed with that.
It's a shame. Yeah, we could maybe do one specially for you, David.
I would, Greg. Seriously, that would be the ultimate for me. I would love one of them, especially if it's got a very cheesy. Well, actually, it is quite a cheesy headline. So, Rayleigh great result is the headline that Gemma's gone for there. So, yeah.
Yes, I get. Well, that may not have been Gemma, but
it might not. Right, okay, fair.
So never quite sure who writes the headlines, because it's usually a group effort or. Our senior content editor Debbie Butler has a lot of input into the headlines, so it may have been her, or it may indeed have been Gemma Sherlock, who is one of our reporters at the Visitor and the Lancaster Guardian. But yes, congratulations, David. Well done. I'm really pleased you've done that. And you're on the radio on Friday night. Are you again? You'll be back on with Friday Night 3?
Back on Friday, yeah. The three of us. We've had a few holidays and things between us over the last few weeks. So it's the first show with the three of us for about 3 weeks. So I can't wait to get into the studio. And we've got a great feature on Morecambe Football Club's Junior Reds, which includes an interview with Jim Bentley. And we've also got the cast of Legally Blonde coming into the studio, which is very exciting. Really looking forward to that. So I'll let you carry on. And
very kind.
Pass on my regards to His Holiness, the former Mayor of Bear. As a Bear resident, obviously I have the greatest respect for Mr. Seddon and his illustrious position.
And he was praising you earlier and praising your videos, or your online videos.
Listen, Mr. Chandler, your videos on YouTube are perfect. I love them to death.
Oh, bless it. Well, the video of the Lancashire Challenge is edited and ready to go. It's an absolute epic. It's about 50 minutes long.
Splendid.
But I couldn't cut anything out because it really does convey the madness of the day. So that will go out probably at the weekend. Thanks for that, Cameron, and all the best to you.
Yeah, best of luck with the post boxes as well.
Well, of course, outside their pharmacy, you've got a fantastic post box, the oldest post box in Morecambe, as you know.
Yes, it's on the website. Yeah, it's great.
Well, we're gonna test Cameron's knowledge of Bear and Morecambe shortly in Master Shrimp. We'll see if he can beat your score from last week, David, because you got 3 out of 5.
I think I was a bit unfairly treated.
You would think that. Yeah, you would. Anyway, thank you very much for ringing in, David. David Chandler.
My pleasure. Bye.
Cheers. Thank you.
All the best.
David Chandler there, who achieved his Lancashire Challenge. So we're going to play Master Shrimp in a bit, Cameron. So get your thinking cap on, ready. Get yourself all genned up on all things Morecambe. In the meantime, play a bit of Wonder Stuff. Don't let me down, gently. I won't. There was no need for a round of applause, but even so, if you're not dancing round your kitchen on a Tuesday evening to that one, then you're not alive, basically. Don't Let Me Down Gently by The Wonder Stuff. Thank you to Steve Pears, who has been listening to the show. Steve Pearce is enjoying hearing Cameron Seddon as the guest on the show. Give Cameron his own show.
Hi, Steve.
Says Steve. He's a friend of yours, isn't he?
Yeah, it was great. We were watching The Others the other night, the Nicole Kidman film. Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic.
You're bonding over Nicole Kidman. Great.
Steady.
And he also says, who knows more about local music than Cameron? He also says £1,000, raising £1,000 from travelling to all the railway stations in Lancashire. You could raise more than that having a dog auction.
Oh, come on. You'd have to send in the retrievers.
You would. Let's have a dog auction live on The Resident next week. We'll do it. We can round them up from the bowling green, perhaps. There's one or two. But anyway, you might know about local music. You might know about local music, Cameron Seddon.
Yes.
But do you know about Morecambe? Do you know about the Morecambe area?
Oh, no, what are you going to do now?
You know full well what I'm going to do. You listen to the show every week. No. I'm going to do this.
Master Shrimp.
It's Master Shrimp. And just to put you off. So are you ready then?
Well, at least it's not London Boys.
That's next week. 5 quick fire questions.
Quick fire. Nice.
Can you beat the league table at the moment? Has Trevor Cook on top with 4. Mm-hmm. Ahead on head count difference of Lauren and Eleanor from Deco Publique, because there was 2 of them. So they got 4 points as well. David Chandler got 3. Steve Middlesbrough got 3. Darren Clifford got 2.5. Let's see how you do. Question 1 is about Bear.
Right, okay.
Bear Hall was built in the 1830s for which family?
Was it the Lodge family?
Correct.
Oh!
What was the name of the dolphin who campaigners tried to free from Marineland?
Is it Keith?
Keith the dolphin.
Keith the dolphin.
No, it was Rocky.
Oh, man.
2 current Coronation Street actresses grew up in Morecambe. Name either. If you get both, you get a bonus point.
Current ones?
Yes.
Did one go to Our Ladies?
I have no idea. It's not on the question. It's just answer the question.
I don't know.
Helen Worth.
She's not. Is she current?
She's current. Yes. Grew up in Morecambe. Plays Gail
Platt,
Tilsley, McIntyre, Rodwell.
Okay.
Capron. No idea. And Cheryl Lee Houston, who plays Izzy Armstrong.
Right. Okay.
Okay. You got.
Oh yes. That's
yes,
right.
you got 1 at the moment. You need to get the last 2 to tie with David Chandler. Which Morecambe venue did the Beatles perform at?
Was it the Floral Hall?
Correct.
Yes.
And finally, before it was known as the Texas Tornado at Frontierland, what was the name of the main roller coaster at Morecambe's Fairground?
It was the Cyclone.
Correct.
Yes.
3 out of 5.
Oh, ho, ho.
You saved face there at the end.
Blimey.
Very good. Very
I
good.
needed that.
Excellent. And I'm going to put the questions up if you've missed the show. Then you're not listening to this, but if you have, you're watching it on YouTube later, perhaps. I'm going to put the questions up on Facebook. You can play along at home. So yeah, well done. 3 out of 5, Cameron. 3 out of 5.
Well, we went to see the Beatles film 8 days a week last week, so that was great. And we were talking about that they'd come here as well as the Who and the Stones. So there was a little bit of revising going on that part.
Excellent.
Oh, fantastic. I'm pleased at that. 3.
You look chuffed to bits, I have to say.
I am. I thought I was going to get about 1, and that was it.
I want to ask you about Matt, your partner in crime. You've been together now for a long time, in various incarnations.
It's a beautiful relationship. Yes.
Yeah. Explain to me what makes the Matt and Cam, Matt Appleton, we're talking about, who is the other sort of main member of the War of the Roses, and your partner in Matt and Cam. What is it that makes the double act work?
Well, he's from York and I'm not. I think that's probably why. That's why we're called War of the Roses. He's from Yorkshire, I'm from Lancashire, and never the twain shall meet, apart from Harrogate on bank holidays. But yeah, it's great. He's a really nice lad. It can be quite musical at sometimes, and I congratulate him.
I think he's really good, actually.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Got a great voice. He plays guitar as well, and he writes songs as indeed do you.
Yeah, he's very good. He's very Beatlesque. He knows every Beatle song in the catalogue, even Revolution Number 9. I've not heard him play that one. There again, I never heard the Beatles really play it. Yeah, it's fantastic. Him, Greg Maddox and Oscar Armour together were great. But then we go out and do a duo, and we just shout out to people, what do you want? And some of it's nice that they shout
You
back.
play a nice combination of stuff. What kind of stuff do you play?
Well, with him being a big Beatles fan, he's taught me a lot about the Beatles as well. So, Beatles, Oasis, Who. We do a good version of Step On by the Happy Mondays and Groovy Train by the Firm.
Oh, yes.
Not the Firm, what are they called?
The Farm.
The Farm.
The Firm was Star Trek in.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Which you could do.
It's amazing what a difference.
That was my
in vowel.
cheesy choice a couple of weeks ago. That would be good. I'd like to hear you do.
We did hear it.
I'd like to hear you do Star Trek in. That could be quite interesting.
Right, well, we've got a couple of days. We're playing on Friday night at the Royal in Morecambe, so we'll have a think about it. Thanks.
Excellent. The Royal's a great music venue. It'd be good to. Is that the first time you performed there?
They're a good bunch. It's the first time we've played in Morecambe for about 5 or 6 years. Last time we played was, I think, at Mar Murphy's after we'd done the I Love Mar Murphy's song.
God rest its soul.
Good Lord.
Best Irish bar ever in the world.
Yeah.
But you do perform in Lancaster quite a lot. I've seen you at the John O'Gaunt. You're there regularly, and
down at the Stonewell
Tavern. Yeah,
we do Bowness as well, which I didn't think would go down very well, but they've sort of adopted us a little bit. It's quite nice down there near the lake. We should play in the lake actually. That would be quite nice. It's good. We're getting out and about. Not a massive amount, but we do enjoy it. The usual songs, the usual jokes.
Only Fools and Horses you play as well.
Oh yeah, we've got
Senses Working Overtime by XTC. We were talking about that before. That's a classic 80s hit that you managed to put a new spin on. So
yeah, there's a few new songs. Yeah, there's 2 new songs. No, there's quite a few new songs since we used to start, and it's usually the automatic ones that people tend to like. Like as soon as you start playing "Don't Look Back in Anger," people are going to start joining in with you. So we just let them. They sing it, we don't. So yeah, it's always a good laugh.
And people don't realise that myself and you, we first met when we both worked at British Telecom in Lancaster back in the 90s, and we struck up a friendship because through the BT Sports and Social Club, which we were both on the committee.
Yeah.
And we used to put on entertainment nights, didn't we, for the staff? And God knows those staff needed entertaining working at that call centre.
Blimey, yeah.
Oh, stressful. But anyway, we used to do. What did we do? We did a Weakest Link night, didn't we?
Yeah, that's right.
And we did a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire night, and then we did the awards night, didn't we, at the Royal King's Arms Hotel.
That was great. Yeah, we had Ken coming on his motorbike, especially. That was
Ken
fantastic.
Partridge, the doorman from Morecambe, yeah.
Yeah, that was quite dangerous. We had to do a risk assessment before he came driving up the stairs in his motorbike. But
He didn't really drive up the stairs. We just pretended. We played a motorbike sound effect, and he came on in his helmet. And
you've ruined it for him.
Sorry, well, it was 20 years ago nearly. Best gig we ever did though was at our friend Rob Stokes' house in Ray.
Oh my word!
Which involved a little bit too much of what I thought was red wine. It wasn't. It wasn't red wine. It was a lot stronger than that.
Was it the Ray Punch?
But it was something like that. And by the time I got on, I was actually singing that night, which is bad enough as it is.
I had to drive you home, Greg. I had to pull you through the front door.
Goodness me. And we were all dressed up, and it was crazy. But anyway, that's another story. I'm for no apparent reason other than you once parodied one of his songs. I'm going to play this.
Who is it?
It's Eddie Grant.
Oh, fantastic!
Happy birthday to Marisa Seddon, Cameron's good lady wife, for tomorrow. Got some good guests coming up on the show in a few weeks. Even almost as good as Cameron, almost. Evelyn Archer from the Friends of the Winter Gardens, long-time campaigner for the Winter Gardens. I was having a chat with her the other night, and she said she would come on the show. Councillor Josh Bramwood, the youngest Morecambe Town councillor, the man who recently said that he wants to stand as Labour candidate in Morecambe as well in the next general election.
Might have to have taken the chair away.
He's only in his early 20s. Going to have Josh on the show. He wants to be on the show, so yes, he can be. I'll let him. So, Cameron, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you very much indeed.
Royal Bar, Friday night. What time are you on?
I don't know. I've put down. I've written a few things down just to help me remember a few things, and I've put down
your address, the way home. Royal,
Friday 23rd, and I put time unknown.
Well, it'll be round about. If I know the Royal, it'll be round about sort of between 8:30 and 9. I would imagine. Get yourself down. Get yourself down to the Royal Bar on Morecambe Promenade. Support local music. War of the Roses are going to be on, and it's going to be really, really good. Every week we finish with a cheesy song. When we were dropping off Owen at university, Cameron, on my son on Sunday, for some reason this came on and we just decided we would sing to it. Mm-hmm. And it turns out he actually quite liked it, and I was quite surprised really, because it's not the sort of song I would normally. He's normally into Swedish death metal, so this did surprise me that he knew this one.
Here we go.
It starts with
that was a bit low.
A low flying aircraft.
Is that one of ours?
And it's the Backstreet Boys with "I Want It That Way."
I'll start the car.
Make a run for it. See you next week on The Residents.
Bye.
My fire, the one desire.